I was there when the first trailer for The Force Awakens dropped. I was there for the Disney buyout. I was never excited after Disney buyout because I was like, they're going to run it into the ground. They literally plan to make a Star Wars movie every single year, and not since Solo bombed, they quit. They quit that whole crap. But it took one movie to flop for them to do that. Otherwise, they would have continued making one movie a year. That's crazy. And you think making that many movies means there's going to be good movies? All the movies are going to have the time for the productions that they need and things like that. I mean, it's astronomical. I mean, you think Marvel movies just have bad CGI because Disney didn't put enough money into it? No, it's probably because they didn't have enough time to finish the effects because they had to rush out a movie every single year. That's why I hate it. So I was like, this movie, I'm not excited for it. I don't care. I really wish they wouldn't do this, but I'll still go. I went opening weekend, and everyone loved it. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, Star Wars is back. Oh my gosh. I was there for when people were theorizing, is Luke Skywalker be in the movie? Why isn't he in the marketing? What's his role? What is this? What is that? Woo, woo, woo. I was there for all of it. And I hated this movie when it came out. I hated it. Because it was just nothing new. I was one of the first people to say that back when it came out. Most people actually didn't say that when it came out. They didn't really care. Most people were just like, oh yeah, Star Wars back. Star Wars is fun. And people I've said this to are like, well, they had to play it safe because they're trying to get all the old fans back after the failure that was the prequels and crap like that. Prequels still made money. Those fans weren't gone. So shut up. Number 2, it's Star Wars. There was never a Star Wars movie to flop at this point. They had no reason that they could not make a Star Wars movie about something else. We have the freaking Mandalorian giving us a whole Star Wars TV show about nothing that we know from the Star Wars universe. Oh wow, there's a Mandalorian and there's a little baby thing. Wow. I'm sorry, there's nothing here telling me, oh yeah, they need to play it safe. No, it's just that they were freaking lazy. And, I tried to give this movie another chance. I've seen this movie so many times, honestly. I've rewatched it. I've tried. Same thing with The Last Jedi. I did the same thing with The Last Jedi. I kept trying to tell myself, man, this is a good movie. This is a good movie. I did the Phantom Menace thing that people were doing. When you saw all those people come out of the movie and that one clip that gets shared around a lot where they're like, oh my gosh, I loved it. Oh my gosh. And then later those people changed their minds and actually hated it. They were just so caught up in the excitement and the anticipation that they lied to themselves. And I can't say I exactly did that, but I did. I keep trying to argue with myself and make this a good movie in my head, and I cannot do this. Don't get me wrong. This is an incredibly well-directed movie with amazing cinematography, editing, pacing, and in some areas acting. In fact, in a lot of areas acting. Daisy Ridley, I mean, she's not a great actress, but she's given a pretty good performance. Finn, John Boyega, he's doing a pretty good performance. All the original trilogy characters, especially Harrison Ford, are doing amazing jobs. And it's really a shame that it's wasted on this. Because what we have is another character on a desert planet looking for their parents and their heritage that gets swept up in an adventure to fight basically the same thing and destroy the Death Star. Rey's a terrible character. She's not even a character. Some people have argued she's an agenda. I could see why people say that, but she's really not. She is a Mary Sue, though. Because immediately Finn doesn't know this character. He likes her immediately. Han Solo doesn't know this character. She immediately likes him immediately. That's what Mary Sue's do. All the characters like the character immediately. They don't have any problems with them. And that's what's going on here. And then you got the parts where she's in a scene and she knows how to work the ship better than Han Solo. You got the other parts where she knows how to just automatically use the Force. When she didn't even believe in the Force earlier in the movie, she thought of it as a legend. These are all traits of a Mary Sue. Like, first of all, in the original trilogy, Luke Skywalker was explaining why he could fly ships so good, why he was a good pilot. Also, his dad was freaking Anakin Skywalker. It makes sense for him to be good at the Force. The problem with this movie is it doesn't make sense for her to be good at the Force or any of this stuff. Again, she doesn't even believe in the Force. She doesn't think it's real. She thinks of it as a legend. Then she finds out it's all real. There's a little bit of shock, but there's nothing more than that. Finn is, a lot of people like Finn in this movie. And I can see why. He's great in this movie. But then all I can think about, well, The Last Jedi takes this character art, this interesting character, and destroys it. I mean, just destroys it. We'll talk about that more with The Last Jedi, but it is terrible in this movie. It is awful. Because it's a great character here, but it doesn't expand anywhere in the trilogy. Think about how cool this idea is. The stormtrooper, who's a person this time, because the stormtroopers are people this time. He starts defecting. He's the only stormtrooper that defects, which is really dumb in hindsight. That's really stupid. There should have been more people were joining the Resistance over the trilogy and things like that, defecting from the First Order after what Finn does. Or there should have been like a whole group of stormtroopers that were inspired by him or something. That could have been an interesting plot point. But it wasn't. And now he sits there and he knows information about the First Order in this movie that helps the Resistance. But he doesn't know anything else in the other movies, really. I mean, that's kind of dumb. Like, they don't go anywhere with him being a stormtrooper that defected. Why didn't they just make him a normal guy? Why did he need to be this character? Because you're not going to do anything with it. In the original trilogy, they had problems with, like, little plot points that would kind of get screwed up with things they wanted to do later. But it wasn't major stuff like this. It was like, oh, Leia kissed Luke, which is kind of gross in hindsight, but because they're brother and sister. That's the thing there. But, like, that doesn't matter. It's a little thing. It's a little scene that you can kind of just ignore. It's not a whole major plot point and arc in a movie. And it's just, and this movie's kind of cringy with a lot of the comedy. Some of it's good, some of it's not. A lot of it's pretty cringy. It goes, and it's just irritating. It's like Marvel movie comedy in like a Star Wars movie. I don't like it. Because this is Star Wars, not Marvel. So I don't like Disney owning Star Wars. Is because they make it something it's not. I don't know how to explain it, but they've changed what Star Wars is. And then but that being the same movie, it's just the same movie but worse. You could argue there are some changes. And yeah, there's little changes. But I say to this, what did you get out of this movie besides a fun movie? Did you think, man, that's a cool character, that's a cool moment, or that's a cool idea that I want to, that's in another movie? No, you didn't get any of that. There aren't any cool characters in this movie. I guess you could argue Finn, but again, he was screwed up in the next movie. There's nothing that this movie does that expands the Star Wars universe. Okay? In The Phantom Menace, there was Darth Maul. There was, certain things about that movie that were like, yeah, these were cool characters. You see more of them, and they become even better. There's cool new ideas brought to the table. This has nothing. There's nothing here. And for that reason, this is the Star Wars movie I hate the most. Because even The Last Jedi has some interesting stuff. This movie is garbage, in my eyes. Not because it's a garbage-made film, but it's just because it's nothing new. It's nothing interesting, it's nothing exciting, it's nothing good. I never thought that this is what Star Wars would become. I wish I could like this movie. But I just can't. There's stupid things like C-3PO's red arm. There's just so many little things, big things, and just other movies that bog this movie down and ruin it. There's nothing to really praise here. Except for the good cinematography, editing, pacing, music, and directing. And acting. But, those are things that we should expect in a Star Wars movie coming out today. Because, yeah. We should expect those things. I just expected something new. Well, I had fun watching this movie again. I probably will watch it again because this is a fun movie. It still will never be anything new or exciting that I will watch over A New Hope. Because this is a shot. This has entire shots, sequences, ideas, and things recreated. It's not a complete shot-for-shot remake, but it doesn't do enough to differentiate itself from the original version, and I just can't stand it. So, let me know what you guys thought of The Force Awakens. Like I said, I really wish I could love this movie the way some people do, but I never will be able to do that. And yes, this is the 3D version of the Blu-ray. I do not have a 3D player. It's just I got this off of Disney Movie Rewards. And I watched it in Blu-ray, of course, because it comes with the Blu-ray. But this is actually really cool packaging. Because right here you got some shots and images from the movie. There's a Blu-ray disc. There's a 3D Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray bonus disc, and then a DVD. And so all that's here. And it comes in this cool lenticular cover there. So I got this for a few thousand points on there. So if you don't know what that is, it's like a club where you buy Disney movies and they come with codes and you enter them in on that website and you can redeem the points and then you can use them to buy other movies. And I believe this was out of print at the time, so I went and grabbed this. I have a Disney Movie Rewards haul. You can see everything I grabbed in that video. I actually haven't watched everything I got in that video. I watched a few things, but I hadn't watched this yet. I know I watched The Three Musketeers, Frankenweenie. I need to watch The Jungle Book, and I actually want to do a review on that, the original version. But that's going to be a while, so. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video.